Well, welcome back for a new year of Hawk Talk. We are excited for things to come. We have a special guest, one who hasn't been on since last year. So go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, and what you do here at DSU.
Hi, I'm Liz Lewis. I'm the head women's basketball coach here at Dickinson State University. And yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. You know, last year you kind of came in the summer, a little bit before the season, so you had some time to recruit. You kind of were just handed the team a little bit. But this year it's different. You recruited all of these girls. Some girls are returning, so there's a lot more wisdom. So talk about how the season's been different from this year compared to last year.
Well, this year, like you said, we have some returners this year on the floor. We had 5 returners from last year's team, and they've done a great job leading and setting the standard of who we are and what we believe in and everything like that, and helping implement my coaching philosophy. And they've done an excellent job. And then we were able to bring in 7 new girls, 4 of which are freshmen. And then we got some junior college transfers to bring in some experience and everything. And so it's been a really good year. We're doing really well, and it's nice to have our feet under us and know exactly where we're going.
Yeah, this past weekend we had a big weekend for both the men and the women. But before we talk about that, I want to talk about the first half of the season. We had a couple girls on. We had Ashley on and Callie on, and just talking about the first half of the season. You guys went out to Montana a couple times, actually.
Yes.
You went to California, and then we had the start of the conference, play. So talk about what you saw, how we grew, and how we're going to transition into this next half of the season.
I think that's the thing we saw the most, was the growth of our team. I mean, going from, we had some exhibition games against Minot State early in the year, and just even looking back on those games compared to where we are now, I mean, there's a huge difference. And that's what preseason games are all about.
Right.
Preseason games are about, learning and growing and getting your feel and your chemistry on your team, so when you hit conference, you're where you need to be.
Right.
And then conference, play is developing to get even better, so when you hit the tournament, you're peaking and you're playing at the level, the optimal level of performances, which we are all striving for. And so the preseason games were good. We went out to Montana, went down to California, and those were some really tough games. We played some NAIA Division I schools, which were some really tough games for us, but I think we really dug deep, and we've had some huge development and growth from our younger players. It's a different level. It is coming from high school to the college level, and the intensity and everything like that, and even the transition from preseason games to conference games, it's a whole nother intensity. Right. It really is, and I think that's something that we've learned this last week. And our one conference game that we had early on December 1st against Presentation, that one's always kind of a tough one because it's just randomly thrown in there during our preseason games, and then after the Christmas break, then we come back and go right into conference. And so I think like you said, the growth is the thing we've seen the most, is the growth and the unity of the team and coming together and everything like that, which is what it takes. So.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about this past weekend. Things really fell into place for the team. We saw a sweep Waldorf, Viterbo. Can you just talk a little bit about this past weekend and those games?
Those games, and those teams are very good. They have some great players on their teams who have been Player of the Week a couple times this year, and they can score. And I think that was our biggest focus this week, was defense. And I'll tell you, Rojin Karahan has been a phenomenal defender for us. Even when I recruited her from her junior college, that's what her coach told me. He said, if you want that kid, if you need somebody stopped on the other team, that's your defensive specialist. And she's come in and she's playing really well this year, both offensively and defensively. And that's something we did this weekend, is we held their leading scorers below their average, which really helped us. And then our offense is finally starting to click and have some fluency to it and everything. And so it's getting better. It's clicking and everything. We went back and watched the film as a team yesterday, and we were, it felt good. And the good news is we still see room for improvement.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing, is yes, it's coming together, but we still saw a lot of areas that, hey, we need to do this better. We need to do this better. But that's the thing, is we're moving in the right direction, and hopefully we'll start peaking at the right time.
Yeah. We talked about Ashley had come on the show the first half of the season. She played phenomenal this week, and she played lights out, had, I think, 10 of the last 13 points in that Waldorf victory. I saw, she came down and cashed a couple threes. So talk about what she has done for this team, just as a newcomer, but also as a leader and as that point guard.
And Ashley has been a very good player. I've watched her in high school, watched her at her junior college, and she's always been a contributing factor to her team. And when she signed with us, it was a great day. We were very excited about that, and she brings a lot of leadership and a lot of experience to the floor. And she, like you said, she's been playing phenomenal. I mean, she shot 58% from the three this weekend, was 100% from the free throw line. Like, she stepped up and hit some big free throws there in the Waldorf game at the end that helped us keep the lead.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, she's that stability on the floor for us when we need when we need things done. And she's also on the defensive end too. She does a really good job defensively for us. And so when we need things done and we need somebody to look for and look to, she steps up and does it for us.
Yeah. Well, not just Ashley, but Callie we've had on the show, Lacey, Rojan, all those players are really stepping up, and there's like a confidence to this team that we haven't seen from the basketball team in a while. So what do you attribute that newfound confidence to?
I think we attribute it to our intensity in our practices, that we practice hard so we know that we can play at that level, because we try to practice at that level. And like you said, Lacey Wade, she's a character. She's a lot of fun. I love having her on our team. She's our hype man. I mean, anytime we need to get hyped or anything, we look to her and go, Lacey, what do we need? And she just, she's always there, and her experience and the maturity. And like you said, it was really interesting in the game. We actually had the lead for quite a while against Waldorf, and then they came back and took the lead with a few minutes left to go. And the difference we saw was there was no panic, and there was still that confidence, and we were very sure that we were still going to be able to come away with a win. And that's the maturity that we're developing. And it takes a while, and it takes experience and things like that, but our older and upperclassmen are leading the way in that. And we, like I said, we were still confident, and we were still calm, and we had poise and composure at the end of the game, which is something we've lacked in the past. And so to see us make that step forward and to be able to break through that barrier, I think is very, very good for us.
Yeah. Well, this weekend, we got 2 more home games, both the men and the women. We're looking for a sweep here. We're playing the top 2 teams, Valley on Friday, Mayville on Saturday. What's the game plan? How are we going to attack these? Strong defense, of course, but what's the game plan?
That's definitely a lot of it is the defense. They've got a post player at Valley City who's very good. She was Player of the Week last week. She had a double-double in their game against Bellevue on Sunday, and she's just a very good player. And so definitely try to stop her. They also have some guards on the perimeter that are very good too. And Valley City is just an all-around good team. Yeah. They are. And then you got Mayville, who can shoot the lights out. And so we've got kind of a different game plan towards both of them, because they're both different teams with different personnel and everything and different strengths. And so it's going to be a fun weekend for us. It'll definitely be a challenge, but it's good to be home. It's good to be home 2 weeks in a row, and so I think that'll help us a little bit. And we're really looking forward to the challenge this weekend.
And we've got a few, well, I say we, I don't, but I'll be going to them, but some fun events happening this weekend. So can you tell us a little bit about, there's something special happening at halftime, something special happening before the game. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, the admissions department is actually putting on a tailgate before our game, so at 2 o'clock on Saturday, putting on a tailgate to for incoming students, but it's also open to the community and open to anyone on campus. A bunch of different clubs and organizations will be there, so kids can see that and kind of get involved, in a way for us to reach out to our incoming students that'll be attending this fall. And so that'll be starting at 2 o'clock. There will be cornhole and things like that. That'll be in Weenbergen, just across the hall from the gym. And so I think that'll be a great event for kids to come out, and also any families and things like that, so they can see, and get to meet people and mingle before the game. And then we have, at halftime of our game, the women's game, the Special Olympics will be playing. And actually Sarah Dobitz from the volleyball team is actually coaching one of those teams. Oh, cool. And so it'll be a fun event to watch them play at halftime too of our game.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait. I'm so excited for it. But this past year, we've been celebrating the centennial year of DSU, and we've been asking everyone this question. So for you, it's your second year here. What does DSU mean to you?
Oh, God, Dickinson State University, and I've coached at a few other schools and everything. And I'll tell you, Dickinson, what I really like about Dickinson is the pride in being a Blue Hawk, if that makes sense. Is a lot of the alumni and things like that I've been in contact with, they just have a lot of pride in just being a Blue Hawk and in Dickinson State. And I think that's what sets it apart from other universities, is how proud we are to be a part of the university and the things that are going on, and you can see the growth and things like that we're doing. And so I think that's kind of what it means to me, is developing that pride in the school.
Yeah, it's well said. Awesome. Different than what other people say too, which is cool. We're getting a variety of different answers, and I like that. Well, Coach, it's been great to have you on. Going to try and get Lacey on. I've been trying to get Lacey on the show for a long time, so we're looking forward to looking forward to getting more basketball players on across the season, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
We'll be back after this talking with an athlete soon. Well, welcome back to Hawk Talk. We have a guest who, is an athlete all across campus, but this year not this year, but right now he's competing in indoor track. So go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, and what you do here.
My name is Tyler Quilling. I'm from Sidney, Montana, and I do the jumps for the track and field team here.
Yeah. So you're a senior this year, and you guys kind of have a new head coach. But how have the first few weeks transitioning back into the season been?
I think they've been pretty good. As you said, we kind of have a new head coach. He was our assistant coach last year, so the transition's been pretty easy. We've just been training really hard, getting back in the season because we have a lot of football guys that are in football come back in, so he pushes us really hard the first few weeks to get into shape for these upcoming meets.
Yeah.
To Susanna and I's surprise, you guys went over to, we did not know you guys went to Bismarck until after the event. So we were surprised to see that you guys went there, but I think we had a lot of good showings. I know you had a good showing, but we'll get to that. But what was it like for the team to get a meet in before the Christmas break and before, that long off season? Not off season, but off time.
Yeah, I think it was amazing. For the last 3 years that I've been here, I've always wanted to go to a meet before Christmas break because we do all this training before and then just a month break. And like there's no reward. And I think everyone did really well. Actually, everyone that went.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously for you did really well. That you had a PR. I'm wondering, was that you can talk about the PR, but was that a national qualifying mark?
No, it was not. It was not. I am actually it's like 7 inches away.
7 inches away. Cool. Well, talk about what it was like to get that PR. The first meet of the season of the indoor season, and where are you going from now?
Absolutely. My indoor PR. Yeah, I did not expect that whatsoever. Actually, I was just shooting for somewhere to build off of. And when I did jump it, I was actually really surprised. Felt amazing, don't get me wrong. But I was super surprised, and from there, it kind of shows me how far I can potentially go and hopefully get that national qualifying mark.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. And last weekend, you guys were at Black Hills, which has become kind of a familiar place for our team, and it definitely showed. Lots of top finishes. You finished first in triple jump. Can you just talk a little bit about how that felt?
It was amazing. Last year I got indoor. Jay Liggins, he always got me in indoor. Always with him gone. It was nice. We always go to Spearfish, so I'm very familiar with that track. So my mark's always at the same spot, and it was nice to come out with the first place finish there.
Yeah, you said that you do the other jumps too. So you participated in long jump. You took 4th there. I think Cleat ended up taking 2nd there.
Yep.
And so I mean, we had a good showing. So where do you personally go from here to get to that national mark of that doing well in the conference? And where does the team go from here?
For me personally, it's just getting stronger, training really hard to get. Because triple jump's tough. Just got to get stronger in the legs. So I mean, that's kind of where I go from here. Just training super hard. And the team, I think it's the same. Everyone performed really well, I thought, at that first meet. That we have our full team. Right. And I think girls and boys across the board, we can make some noise at conference, just pushing ourselves. Yeah, well, that would be great. Looking ahead,
I would say we You guys have a break this next weekend, and then you're kind of going from here on out. It's every weekend. It's going to be a grind. So, especially looking forward to this weekend, but also, in the individual weeks, how are you going to prepare your body and kind of take care of it in order to maintain it all the way through this indoor season and then stretching into the outdoor season?
I think everyone has a routine that they do throughout the week as far as taking care of their bodies. If we have a tough treadmill workout, generally everyone's hitting the ice bath that night. Ann Whitcop, our coach's wife, helps out a lot. She's one of the assistant trainers, so she's always around us, kind of knows our little tweaks and pains and helps us even at practice. She'll roll us out or work out a knot that we have in our muscles. So I think that's how we kind of keep up with our bodies. Yeah.
And this season, you guys have lots of seniors on the team, lots of leadership on the team. How does that positively affect the atmosphere of the team?
It's awesome. Everyone has their own little, there's sprinters, jumpers, distance, and I think each little group has their leader. Last year, me and Jay kind of took the long jump, triple jump. Now it's just me. Sprinters is like Kane Boshi. So I think everyone takes their specific groups, and then once we come all together, it's pretty amazing, actually.
And as you think back and you reflect, you're a senior, and you reflect back on these past years you've been at DSU, what has DSU meant to you?
I think the biggest word that comes to my mind is family. when I came here, everyone, even teachers, coaches, everyone, just a mutual respect for everyone here. And like a lot of people from back home even graduated from here, and they still, oh, you go to DSU, like you're instantly family with them. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, well said.
Really cool.
Well, Tyler, we're looking forward to the rest of this indoor season. Hopefully, we'll get you on in the outdoor season too. You know, so we got a few months for Hawk Talks, and so we're looking forward to the rest that's going to come. And good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll be back right after this, talking with a few more athletes.
Life is full of many successes, achievements, stages. Every year we grow, things change, and pretty soon we realize we want and need to do more. When you're ready for that next step, Dickinson State University will get you there. Find out how at dsublue.com.
Well, welcome back to Hawk Talk. We're kind of doing a little special edition. We couldn't get the wrestling team on right before the Tyler Plummer, unfortunately, so we got a couple guys here this week. So go ahead and introduce yourself and what you do here at DSU.
I'm Trey Fishback. I wrestle 133. I am getting the ag degree, and I'm from Warcroft, Wyoming.
Cool.
Casey Jones. I'm the heavyweight business admin major, and I'm from California.
Yeah, Cali and
wow.
Wyoming. Wyoming's the best state in the union, I always tell whenever we get Wyoming kids. You know, Trey, this year's been a little bit different. You guys went to a couple tournaments before the semester break, which is different from years in the past. So talk about how things have been different.
Well, I guess that it's kind of different because that we actually, got to compete, which is exciting.
Yeah.
So we got to see what we were at and where we could possibly be at the end of the season before Christmas, which is really cool.
Yeah. You know, and Casey, going over to you, you're one of just a few guys who are returning, who have been to the national tournament, who have had that experience and some of the highest mats in the country. So talk about what that's done for you, in the off season and in the preseason, and now what that's doing for you here currently.
Going to nationals is good because you know the level you have to be at to get there, and what's waiting for you there, especially having years after now to compete. And this is what I'm going to be up against, and this is the level I need to be at.
Yeah.
That's good.
And Trey, you guys have already had a few tournaments, a few duels so far this season. So looking back on those, how have you felt about the team's performance overall?
I think that each week it seems like we get a little better. Our younger guys keep improving, and the older guys just keep being leaders and showing how good we can be.
Yeah. And Casey, the Tyler Plummer was this past weekend, and you and Ethan both shared 5th place. So could you talk a little bit about, personally, how that weekend went for you?
Well, me and Ethan both had knee injuries, so we had to default to 5th place, both of us, and default to each other. But I thought me and Ethan both wrestled really well. He almost beat a nationally ranked kid. And it's just unfortunate that also he got injured and I got injured.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll get healthy and it'll be all good.
Yeah. You know, Casey, I think when people think of the heavyweight class, they kind of think of like, oh, that's kind of the rarity for wrestling. They can eat whatever they want. They don't really have to train. But I know personally, like, you train all the time and you're always in the weight room. So talk about, for those people who would think that you don't have to eat right, talk about what it takes to be a heavyweight wrestler.
Well, you definitely have to, because you're not going to put muscle on if you're just eating garbage all day or anything like that. And you'll feel awful and your cardio is going to go down. And even as a heavyweight, you need cardio because other guys are training hard too.
Yeah.
A guy like Ethan definitely puts a lot of hours in the weight room maintaining his strength. So definitely takes more work than you'd think.
Yeah. This next weekend, you guys are heading down to Missouri, over to Missouri. I don't really know where Missouri is located, but you're going to Missouri, however you're going to get there. And either way, there's some great competition down there. So Trey, looking ahead, what are some things you're doing to prepare for this coming weekend?
Well, I just have to get extra workouts in so I can get my weight down and be ready to go. I mean, mentally prepare and go ready to go kick some butt this weekend.
Yeah, and you guys are 1 month away from the conference tournament, correct?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Much,
Like it seems like it's just happening really, really soon. So what are some things that Coach Schlecht is saying, to kind of prepare you for these next couple of meets going into the conference meet? Either one of you can answer that one.
Me? All right. I think Schlecht is really good at preparing you mentally. So just having those practice days that are not going to wear your body down too much, but test you mentally and make sure you're ready for the level of competition that's ahead.
Yeah.
Looking back at but mainly just the Tyler Plummer, but some of the tournaments early in the season, Tanner Stone has been incredible. Gresh Jones has been incredible as well. But you're getting guys. Kyle Anderson this past weekend stepped up and performed really well, and Caden Haugen as well. Some of these younger freshmen and sophomores. So what is that doing? What does that say, and what is that doing for your team?
Well, I think that having the older guys like Gresh and Casey, they lead the team.
Yeah.
But us younger guys that are been able to step up and perform well, we can show that we can keep the torch going. We can keep the success for the wrestling team going on in not only this year but in years to come.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool.
Trey, both of you guys, I guess we'll start with Trey. Casey, you can answer this one. Asking everybody, because it is the centennial year, you both have two different experiences here at DSU and coming from two different places. So talk about what DSU has meant to you and maybe one of your favorite memories here.
For me, it's a real big, the community is just so integral to DSU. We're Dickinson State is just kind of like the pride of Dickinson.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one thing that's really cool how the community just follows us and is so tightly packed to us together.
Yeah.
But I guess one of my best memories here would honestly have to be the first lock-in, which is I was like super
my
scared.
gosh.
I was super scared about. I had no idea what was going to go on, but it was a really big growing experience for me. The very first one that I ever went to, and it's something that I know that if I can survive that, I can pretty much go through anything.
Yeah, no
so,
joke.
That's
Oh
right.
my gosh.
So that's just one thing that's been really a real big step in my journey here at DSU.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool.
Well, I transferred from a school that's also really into wrestling and have a successful program, so it was nice to get here and know how many donors and people support the program. And I go around school and randomly meet guys who used to wrestle and they'll talk to you, so that's cool. As far as an experience, I guess Nationals was a really awesome experience for me, even though I didn't do as well as I wanted to. Just having the support and, nobody being negative about you not being where you should or want to be at.
Right.
Just having the positive support was awesome.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
DSU. That's great. Well, good luck this weekend, guys, and good luck the rest of the season. We're looking forward to seeing some of the results and seeing how far we can take this thing.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
We'll be back after this, recapping what's happened this past week and looking forward to the next. Well, welcome back to Hawk Talk. Susanna informed me that we didn't introduce ourselves, so we're going to now. I'm Seth Morkerke.
I'm Susanna Moberg.
And we're very glad you're here with us. We're just going to recap what's happened since the new year. Happy New Year to you,
Yeah,
Susanna.
thank you.
Happy
as
New
well,
Year
Seth.
to all of our viewers. And then we're gonna look ahead to the rest of this winter season because we are going to be busy.
I know. Oh
So
my
starting with men's basketball, this past I think it was the 4th, 5th, and 6th. They went to Bellevue. They won in Bellevue. Big win over there. I think Bellevue is actually the #1 team in our conference right now, so it's
I
good.
didn't
Our
know that.
presentation isn't in Bellevue's second, but it's good to get a win there.
Yeah.
We also went to Dakota State, lost there. Talking to Coach Vaughn, the men didn't play as well as they could have, and they all know that. He knows that. I think everyone knows that, and we're looking forward to the rematch with them. They went to NDSU. Exhibition game there was a tough battle there. We'll leave it at that.
It's a long weekend.
It's a
for
long
them
weekend.
Too.
Yeah,
If you
they
think about,
played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and so that was
lots of
kind of the
time on
cap.
the road
yeah,
and-
that was the cap of their 3-game stretch, and it's like that. You don't even see NBA teams do that.
No.
I mean, they do that, but it's tough. Then this past weekend we had a sweep They beat Waldorf on Friday night, Viterbo on Saturday night. Kenny Jackson was actually the North Star Athletic Player of the Week.
Yes.
I mean,
Look
finally,
at
I didn't have to tweet at them this time. They realized it, I guess. He played very well. I think he was over 50% from the three-point line for the weekend, over 50% in general shooting, and was 100% in his free throws. At one point in the game, he had a steal where he just snuck up on a guy, stole it, and had a three-point play after that. And I said, this team is legit right here.
And you said, wow, I should have played basketball.
Just stuck with it. But the men's team is now 3-2 in the conference, and they have 2 conference games this weekend. They're playing Valley, who is, they're last in the conference right now, but they are always a solid team, and so we're looking forward to that. And then Mayville, who is, man, they were receiving votes. I think they are 3rd or something like that, and they can shoot the lights out like Coach was talking about on the girls' side and on the men's side as well.
Yeah.
Women's basketball, sort of the same type of thing. They went to Bellevue, they lost at Bellevue, and then they went to Dakota State and lost there. But they've gained since then. They've gained wisdom, they've gained skills, and this maturity.
She was talking about too.
Maturity.
Yeah.
And this past weekend they swept as well. They beat Waldorf. Like I said, Ashley Larson came and had 10 of the last 13 for the team, and it was
crazy.
Crazy, very significant. Had back-to-back threes and kind of put the game away, and it was great to see that. Yeah, good for her. We're just a Hawk Talk alum right there. And then they beat Viterbo on the second night. Again, their lockdown defense was the thing that did it, like Coach was talking about. Ashley Larson, I think, probably could have been the North Star Player of the Week. I'm not going to be mad about it because we got Kenny. But Ashley, she could have been, very well could have been. And we're really proud of the Blue Hawks and what they've done this past weekend on the basketball court.
We had some wrestlers on the show today, and they started before Christmas break. They had a little tournament meet, whatever you call it. And then this past weekend they had the Tyler Plumber, which was a pretty big event for them. And then this next weekend they're heading to Missouri. But I just want to read these so I know that I say their names right and their places right. So this past weekend at Tyler Plumber, we had Tanner Stone take 3rd place. He's a sophomore. Kyle Anderson, 3rd place, freshman. Jamie Mullins, 4th place, and he's been on the show before.
Last year we had
sure,
him on,
and he's a rodeo guy too, isn't he? We have Casey and Ethan, we talked about them, 5th place, the heavyweight guys. And then Caden Haugen, a sophomore, and he took 6th place, I believe is that number that's scribbled on my paper there. But yeah, they're leaving. We talked to them tomorrow morning at 8. That's too early for me, but
but they're heading to Missouri, and again, like same with track, they are almost back-to-back weekends from here on out, or in the middle of the week they're going to duels, and so it's, I mean, we got a month, and then we're at conference.
Yeah, and that's so crazy to me. I feel like that really snuck up on us, and it did. You don't hear much about wrestling for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, everything is happening right now. So, but yeah, good luck to them on their travels, and
we're looking forward to
this next weekend. Yeah, definitely. And then we have track. Women's track did pretty well this past weekend. They were in Black Hills, correct, or at Black Hills. And we had Shelby McGee took 4th. Zoe, I don't want to say her last name. Boshi?
Yep.
Okay, well, it's spelled like Boshi, I think. But anyway, she took 6th in the 200. JC Wilson, who's been on the show before, 7th in the 1 mile. And Mackenzie Grubbs, 2nd place. They all did really, really well. We talked about that. They always seem to do pretty well. At
our girls' track team and our men's track team is legit. We're going to win the conference again. No doubt in my mind. But it's cool to see. I think the men and the women, like, we swept the 800 or the 400, if I'm not mistaken. The women went 1 through 4, and the men went 2 through 7. So it's like,
oh my gosh,
wow, we have a very
pretty
good 400 team here.
Yeah.
And looking to the men's side, Cleet Rosinski had a solid weekend again. He's gonna have a great career here at just continuing adding to that career. Took 1st in the 60-meter hurdles, and then took 2nd in the long jump. We had talked to Tyler about that. Tyler Quilling took 1st in the triple. Really proud of him for that. Just seeing the strides that he's taken since his freshman year, it's been great to see him grow. And now, like he said,
and
Jay,
see the success he sees.
Jay Liggins is not around this semester. He's actually training for the NFL.
Yes.
He's down in Texas. And so we are excited. We're maybe going to try and somehow get him on Hawk Talk.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Maybe if he's back, and we'll try to recap everything football and track wise. But Tyler's stepping into that role as the triple jump leader. And Blade Miller and the shot put side took 3rd. He's only a sophomore, so it's great to see these young guys stepping up. And then Cleet and Quill took 2nd and 4th in the long jump. So they're off this next weekend, but then they're heading to Black Hills again, and then they're heading to North Dakota State and South Dakota State, and it's like after that it's
they've
back
got-
to back to back,
they've
and
got
then
lots coming up.
Nationals is coming up. So
Oh my gosh.
we're gonna try and jam pack a lot of winter sports into this next month and a half, and we'll see if we can do it. I think we're gonna be able to handle it.
We can do it.
But
Definitely nice.
thank you for joining us this week. But until next week, Hawks are up.